You're listening to the Law of Attraction Radio Network.
The secret to well-being is discovering the power that is your birthright, the power to create a happier, healthier life, drawn from our own vast internal resources. Join Jules and her guests as they gently guide you to shift your perspective from the familiar negative to the divinely connected, a place that will not only positively impact your world, but possibly shift the planet. It's all right here on Law of Attraction Talk Radio.
Well, welcome to Law of Attraction Talk Radio. I'm Jules from beautiful Southern California, and I'm so glad you could be with me. So if you're suffering from any illness or disease, you're really going to love this episode. I have a brand new host on Law of Attraction Radio Network who is known as Shangela Pierce, and her show is called Embrace Your Spiritual Power with I Am. She lives in the most spectacular place on earth called Sedona, Arizona. And she is a spiritual healer who brings you back into perfect alignment by helping you to change your vibration. She's also an incredible law of attraction expert in bringing you the message of your power to manifest anything you want. Now, before I bring out my wonderful guest, I just want you to know that I'm thrilled you are listening. You know, we're in the extreme energy of learning not only about our own emotions, but the emotions we share with the world. We do live on the same planet, and although our preferences may be completely different, never forget that we are all human. Actually, the truth is, we are on this planet at this particular time because we chose to be. We all wanted to experience this historical arena that is playing out right now. But I would suggest it's not really about a president or senator or congressman or Congress. It's really about our feeling on how to create the abundance and well-being of our life. You know, we're projecting our own power of manifestation onto the president or president-elect or Congress or the Senate. We're projecting our responsibility onto them, but we're here to create for ourselves. So as much as we are being bombarded by the TV and news and the fear, and we kind of realize that we're the only ones that can make our dreams come true. It's not the government. Believe me, it's not the government. If you can just focus in on that, it will help you gain more understanding of where your insecurities and fears lie. And yes, we can decipher our emotions during this really, really unusual political time. It's all good. And it will help you to grow beyond the person that you are today. Notice what your emotional feeling is to help you gain your power back. You are the one that's important. You are. You are the creator of your life. You have the power to change how you feel to what you want, and then the power to adapt or change. You came to this world to be you right now. So please do and create a phenomenal life for yourself. It's not dependent on a government, on a school, on money. It is all dependent upon you. You're the one with the power to create your life. Do it without any issues beyond your physical world. Now, let's take a fast break, and then we're going to bring back my very special guest, Shangela Pierce. And she's going to be talking about her new show called Embrace Your Spiritual Power of the I Am. She is really a terrific gal, and I'm so, so excited to have her on the network. You're going to love her. You're going to love her show, and you are going to learn a lot. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
It's here, it's hot, and it's a must read. It's the science behind The Law of Attraction magazine. Every issue brings you great articles and in-depth how-tos from all your favorite Law of Attraction experts, authors, scientists, and medical professionals. Go to lawofattractionmagazine.net. That's lawofattractionmagazine.net.
Did you know that every human uses only a small portion of their powerful mind? Jules Johnson, international certified hypnotherapist, wants to introduce you to your powerful mind in order to create your dream life. In as little as one session, Jules guides you into releasing limiting beliefs that keep you from achieving wealth, health, better relationships, and even true love. Schedule a session in Palm Springs or set up a Skype video session for those nationally and internationally. Jules would love to serve as your guide into living your dreams. Go to creativeguidedimagery.com or call 951-201-2166. That's creativeguidedimagery.com.
You're listening to the Law of Attraction Radio Network, heard by millions worldwide through 38 internet radio stations and in over 135 countries. Be sure to sign up for your monthly updates and get all the latest information on LOA radio events such as cruises, workshops, and seminars, as well as information on the latest shows, topics, and guests. Go to LOARadionetwork.com and sign up today.
Well, welcome, Shangela, to Law of Attraction Talk Radio. I am so happy to have you. And better yet, I'm so excited because you're now on Law of Attraction Radio Network.
Yes, I'm I'm having a wonderful time doing these podcasts. Yeah, they're just like, oh, the energy's flowing and I'm loving what's coming through me.
Oh, that's wonderful. And you have a cat too. I can hear the cat.
Yes. They woke up during this time. I was hoping they'd stay asleep, but guess not.
I've got a couple myself, so I know exactly. And I have to lock them out. But
Yes.
in any case, let's talk about your background because you are very much into healing, teaching people how to heal themselves, but you have this your spiritual guides that guide you. I mean, this is so much fun and it's so fascinating. So I just want to give the mic to you and have you tell us, how did all this start?
Well, it started, I think like most people, it starts when something traumatic happens to them. And it's no different for me. So I got sick and there were no answers for me. The answers that I was giving from the traditional point of view was basically, you're going to have this chronic ailment for the rest of your life and it's basically going to get worse. And that was pretty much unacceptable to me because I just felt in my core that I could heal. I mean, there was just a disconnect between what they're trying to, the story they're trying to tell me. And I was like, no, this cannot be it. This just cannot be it. And so I knew I could heal. I didn't know how, but I knew I could heal. And so I was led to naturopathic medical school. And yeah, I went there and I found a teacher who helped me with my ailment. And it was asthma, it was chronic asthma that I developed as an adult. I didn't have it as a child.
Wow.
And yeah, so again, the story they were telling me just didn't make sense. So in any case, she helped me to heal from that, and with also the extreme chemical sensitivities that I also developed at the same time. It was like my body was just like breaking down on me, and I needed help. And I was guided to her, and she healed me. But the key factor in that is that in naturopathic medical school, you learn so many different modalities. And it became apparent to me that had I gone to someone else, I would have been healed in a different way. And so I started questioning like everything, like God or source or whatever you call it, couldn't make healing this complicated, right? Like you had to find the exact right person and all
Yeah.
of, all of these factors. You have to, know all these modalities that you can choose from. Should I do this? Should I do that? It just cannot be this challenging. So I started asking the questions, and that's when I started getting led to the answers that everything is coming from within you. That's really when I discovered the law of attraction, and it like blew my mind. It was like, oh my God, this is something I've always known in my heart, but have been led to believe otherwise by, society, your parents, everyone else, right?
Yeah.
Because they're unaware. And when my mind was open to this, I just knew this was the way I should go. This is what my source was telling me, that this is what I needed to teach others. And so, so this is what I do now.
Wow. So this is a great testament that, and you're absolutely right, because we grow up with the thought that we're not powerful.
Yes.
And the law of attraction kind of steps in. It's like, oh my gosh, I got this power, but I don't know how to tap into it. I don't know how to do. And you're right. It takes that desperation to give us a swift kick in the, to move us forward in that direction. So
Yeah.
trauma is, in fact, necessary.
Yes.
It is going in the right way.
Yeah. Because if you're complacent, life is okay, all this, you're not really going to search for anything more than what you have. But when you're desperate and you need something, you're searching.
So you tapped into your inner self and you discovered that you have spiritual guides.
Yes. Yeah. Something that actually I've always had. I just didn't know that I did. I was very connected as a child, but I didn't know it. It was just, it was just who you were, right?
Right.
And then you just get trained out of it. And then it was just upon me looking back like, wow, I was really connected, and I kind of lost that. And then I rediscovered it, and I just knew that this is something that I had to teach others. And of course they were telling me that too. It's what I came to do.
So you reconnected with your spiritual guides. Now
Yes.
you have more than one.
Yes.
And so are they different personalities or what? Explain spiritual guides.
That is a very interesting question. We don't necessarily like to use the terminology. Let's say spiritual guides per se. Is we kind of like to let you decide for yourself what that terminology is. So it
I
could
like
be, is it source to you? Is it God to you? Is it spiritual guides, angels? Whatever it is to you, that's what it is. We don't want to impart some kind of belief system on you. We want you to ultimately go home to yourself, within yourself, to find your own answers and to be guided from within.
Wow, powerfully put. So
Yeah.
that is important. It's up to each one of us individually to decide how we want to filter in that information.
Yes, because if you go to the source, that's it, right? Whatever that source is to you, that's your answer.
Wow. That's so well put. Okay. So now, after you discovered your spiritual partners, shall we say, when did you decide? Because you haven't always resided in Sedona, but so how did you get through your healing process? It had to have been difficult.
Yes, it definitely was challenging, but well worth the journey. And I would say my journey to Sedona started when I was in medical school, and I was having all these questions, asking these questions like, how could it be this difficult? And so I was guided to go to Sedona. And because my medical school was in Tempe, Arizona, so I was already in Arizona.
Oh,
Yeah, so
wow.
I was already here, and so I searched and I said, okay, I'm going to Sedona, right? And so I came to Sedona, and I did a spiritual healing retreat, and I had, I believe, about 4 or 5 different teachers, and they just like opened my eyes to like the spiritual world and what it could offer, and beyond the ego, beyond what the mainstream tells you. And again, it just solidified for me my purpose in life. Yeah.
Wow.
Eh, yeah. But I didn't stay in Sedona. I just knew that was a place I was coming home to. So it took me about 10 more years to get back here, but I'm finally back. Yeah.
And so now with everything you've learned, and you are, would you call yourself a medical intuitive?
I would say an intuitive healer,
Okay.
only because they're very similar. Only because those who generally seek for medical intuitive are really seeking to solidify, like they're putting their focus more on the diagnosis of the ailment as opposed to the healing of the ailment.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that would indicate then that you are into the emotions of a person, because is that the primary reason they get sick, is through their emotions and
Through their thoughts, yes, the thoughts that cause, yes, the thoughts that cause the chaos, that cause the emotion, that cause the blocked energy, yes, and mostly the subconscious thoughts. Yeah.
subconscious? So we aren't even aware of these.
Yes, for the most part, you are not, but you can be aware of your subconscious thoughts if you get in touch, if you get grounded in your body, if you learn the messages that your source gives to you on a day by day, minute to minute, moment by moment. They are giving you signs as to whether or not you're in alignment with health and in alignment with everything that you desire. Just most people aren't aware of that. And so there's that disconnect.
Interesting, interesting.
Yes.
So, and now you've been in Sedona for how long?
For a year.
For a year. But
Yeah.
and you're throwing a lot of workshops.
Yes. Yes. I do law of attraction workshops. I do also spiritual healing retreats for those who really want to go to a Sedona vortex, which are very powerful energetically, and experience really reconnecting to your source and getting messages and getting the answers that you need on a one-on-one or even a small group basis. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. That sounds so fantastic. So
Yeah.
do you have a meeting place there, or where are the events at?
Well, the spiritual healing retreats are at one of the 4 major vortexes, and sometimes even a smaller vortex is called for. But that's intuitive in nature, so it depends on the person and depends on where we're called to go for that particular healing. And
Okay.
so, yeah,
So
and go ahead.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say the workshops are held at a center here, a nonprofit center that I use for their renting their facilities. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. So people with not only physical problems, but emotional problems can come to you to basically learn about themselves and to connect with their inner source. Is that
Yes,
correct?
yes, yes,
And that's the major thing that's lacking in humanity right now, is
yes,
that we're not emotionally connected to ourselves. So we're like way out there.
yes,
You're bringing us down to back to where we're supposed to be.
yes. Grounded in your body, grounded in your nature, and in who you truly are. Yes,
I've been seeing pictures of Sedona and the beautiful mountains and the
yes,
sunsets. And you can just feel that all of the colors are cleansing you as you're watching it. I'm not making this up either. I've been really surprised about my feelings about Sedona.
Yes,
And
it
it is a phenomenal place.
yeah, it's a millions of people come here every year to experience the spiritual the nature of this place, the healing of it is something you can't put into words, but it is very strong and very palpable.
Wow. So you're getting yourself completely immersed in this cleansing arena.
Oh yeah. It's been phenomenal. My experiences here is like, wow, my meditations are deeper. I'm connecting more deeper to my source. Is yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So we're not as fortunate as you are to live in this glorious place called Sedona, but I'm hoping to get out there soon. But what would your suggestions be? And I think that's why you're on the Law of Attraction Radio Network, is because you have a deep message for everyone to know that they're going to be okay individually,
Yes, you
not as
are.
a group.
Mhm. Individually. You don't need to come to Sedona to connect to your source, first and foremost. I want to put that out there. It requires you setting the intention and you doing the work. It is a lifestyle change. It is a commitment to yourself and your goals and who you want to become. It is again about embracing your spiritual power, right? To become that which your soul has always desired you to become. Coming to Sedona, it helps because what we have here is really like a condensed, a lot of strong energetic fields where some people say it closes the gap between the physical and the non-physical. It really is pretty amazing. However, you can find these energetic centers in many places in nature. It's just about going out there and being guided to that. Of course, we would love to have you in Sedona, but again, it's not necessary.
So, when is your next workshop? In
My next my next workshop in Sedona is in December. Yes, and I hold several spiritual healing retreats within the month. It just depends on the month. You have to visit my website at seekwithinyou.com to find out my dates that I have listed.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
This is such good information. Now, I want to know more about the vortexes because people, even in the law of attraction industry, I mean, that's a metaphysical term.
Yes.
So, explain vortexes to us.
Well, oh, let's see what's the best way of saying it. It's like high spiraling energy, and people feel it differently, and I feel it differently at times. It just depends on what I need work on. But there are a lot of times where I feel the energy just really swirl in me when I'm in there. Um, and other times it's just you feel like an overall feeling of euphoria, like you just feel your aches and pain going away. You can literally feel them just like dissipating. So they're just really high vibrational centers that are here to help you on your journey, in your spiritual journey.
Wow. So, we can tie into those vortexes regardless where we are in the world, but it's more powerful to be on top of the vortex.
Yeah. Well, I felt vortexes in other places out in nature. Yeah, they're all over the world. There's just very high concentration here in Sedona. That's what makes it a very special place.
Yeah. So, when you've been in Sedona, you have felt this dramatic change or vibration.
Yes. Oh
Wow.
yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. I definitely have I'd give you an example. I did a spiritual healing retreat with a female. She was from Washington. And during our session, she said it felt so palpable that she felt like she can reach out and actually feel the spirits that were surrounding her. It was just that deep, that clear of a connection between the physical and the non-physical.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And when you said that, the thought of Indians came into
Yes.
my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Why would that pop into my mind?
Because this is really sacred Native American land. They were here before we got here. Yeah, this is a very sacred space that goes back for a very, very long time.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, interesting.
Mhm.
So, is there any special techniques that you do in your workshops? Like, I would imagine that you hold a lot of meditations.
Yes, yes. And I wouldn't say any specific ones in particular. What I like to do is help people in allowing their experience to unfold for themselves. And so what I find is people have a lot of chaos in their mind. So to mediate that, we got to use technology. I have them wear some headphones with some drums playing to kind of get out of their mind. No different than like if you think about a shamanic journey where they're playing the drums to get
Right.
people. And so I just have them listen to it on the headphones. And while they're doing that, then I'm holding the space, helping them to allow. And so what you experience is going to be what you allow yourself to experience. I've had clients who come and they're really about to go to that next level, but then they stop themselves because out of fear. And that's okay, because that's part of the journey. So you just go as far as you allow yourself to go.
So that's the thing. It's the fear that stops us actually from even living.
Yep.
So but it's safer to try it with you.
Yes.
I mean, it's because we don't have to worry. There's somebody there
Mhm.
that pull us out if we get too fearful.
Yes. Because we're not using any mind altering drugs or anything like that. It's just really trying to help you to allow this particular experience to unfold for you in whatever way you wish.
And so you're helping people if they say, I'm trying, but I can't get there. What are some of the blocks that are stopping people from getting there? It's just fear.
Fear, and like the Marianne Williamson quote, is really not the fear of the darkness, it's really the fear of the light. It's a fear of, stepping into your power, embracing your power and who you are, because you're so much into the regular paradigm and thinking about what other people are going to think about you. This is not normal. It's kind of woo-woo-y, all these other these thoughts that are in your mind because they don't know who they are, and you're discovering who you are, and you're kind of holding yourself back because of the perceptions of other people. So that's a major thing for people.
Boy, you are so right on that. I mean, even me, I couldn't even reveal my real name on the radio, and I've been doing this for 14 years, and I still have a hard time saying who I really am, who I really don't know yet. I'm still in the growing phase.
Mm-hmm.
But it has been the fear of how are people going to perceive me? And boy, that is a powerful fear.
Yes, it is. It holds so many people back.
Oh my gosh. So you are leading people to understand that there's nothing to be afraid of. And the best part is understanding the power that they possess. Is that correct?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That's pretty exciting. And it sounds like that's what you did for yourself.
Oh, yeah. And that's what I continue to do, right? Because we're always growing. We're always reaching for that next level. And so every day I'm working with my guides to overcome something in my life that's holding me back so that I can reach my highest potential. And while I'm doing that, I'm teaching others, right? Because God, source doesn't say, you only help someone after you reach the top, right? you help them at every step of the way, every way, because there's always someone you can help.
Wow. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Because you're actually, when you're teaching another, you're actually teaching yourself.
Exactly. So
Interesting. So this is so fascinating. And on your weekly show, what are you going to be talking about?
On my weekly show, it's about embracing your spiritual power, and with the focus being on obtaining optimal health, whether that be physical health or emotional health or spiritual health. It's really about embracing that power. And in so doing, that it applies to all aspects of creating abundance, all of that, right? Because it's fear that holds you back from abundance. All of that is relevant, whether it's health or any other aspect, but we specifically focus on health.
Okay, so if your life isn't working, then it's the health.
Yes.
It's the emotions that are affecting the health. And
Mhm.
it's like the universe is trying to get your attention.
Yes. It's letting you know that you've been out of alignment for quite a while for it to manifest in the physical. And so when you understand how you are creating this for yourself, then you can take the steps to basically reverse it, to basically come back home, raise your vibration to and become your highest potential.
Okay, so let's go into another subject because there's a lot going on in the world right now.
Mhm.
Oh, oh my gosh. And people are like, I don't want to pay attention, but yet I can't take my attention off of it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I can't even, I mean, it's like, how do we deal with this? Do we completely ignore it? I mean,
Everything
I don't see how we can ignore it because we're being bombarded by it.
you can ignore it. You're being bombarded by it because you turn on the TV or you turn on, yeah, exactly. You're what you're getting is what you're attracting. You know that. It's the law of attraction. If your focus is primarily on you and your well-being, then there's no need to immerse yourself in what's happening in the external, because the reaction of what's happening is from people who don't know that they create their reality. They're in a different paradigm. If you're trying to switch to a paradigm in which you know that you are the creator of your reality, there's no need to fear in what's happening, not in the least bit, because
So,
yes.
so my reality is not the reality that's going out there, that's
No.
happening.
Mm-mm.
A person who is not into the law of attraction or spiritual principles, their reality and all of the chaos with the COVID and everything is not my reality. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that's correct. It does not have to be your reality. You see that when this first happened, our guides to Shangela was to just stay home, basically within us, right? No need to watch the TV, none of that, because that will induce thoughts that can cause the fear and all this other things, right? As you get into the mind of the collective, no need to do that. Come home, stay home. We will guide you on what you need to do for yourself and your well-being.
So we shouldn't be helping the collective to calm down.
You said you should be helping the
We
collective to
shouldn't
come.
be. We shouldn't be with calming down. We're calming down when we ignore it.
Yes,
So therefore we're
yes,
calming down the collective.
yes. You help hold the space for those. You hold the light. You put your attention on the light, and you let that be your guide. Not You cannot help others when you're in the fray. You can only help those when you're holding the light and holding the vibration and being true to yourself. And then you allow them to come to that space for you, right?
And even if they don't know you, your vibration, like I'm going to say, your vibration
Yeah.
is calming everything.
Yes.
Is a vital part of it,
Yes.
so that we don't need to be looking at the process or be looking at the problem, because we individually are helping everyone by our calmness,
Yes. Yes. And
by
when you
ignoring it.
exactly. And when you have that great connection to your source, then you understand there is no need to fear. You know, there is that peace that comes from that, from working with your source. Yeah.
Okay. So we all just need to turn off the TV. But there's no way that, I mean, if we're trying to tap into it, we're trying to think what we believe about it.
Exactly.
We're not really going after what's best for everybody because we don't have a clue.
Nope. And you know, one of my favorite quotes is from Conversations with God, book 1. And it says, God can't tell you God's truth until you stop telling God's yours, right? So, because we're always trying to tell source what the truth of the situation is, but we're not listening. We are not listening.
That is so good. And your cat just agrees too.
They've been agreeing this whole time. For everyone, they want to join this conversation with you.
That's true. That is so neat. So, what other things are you going to be talking about in your show? You've already had like 3 shows.
Yes, yes. Well, in the first show, we just defined embracing your spiritual power, and then we talked about allowing the energy to flow. And the third episode, we talked about self-love, because that's so important for healing, right? Many people think they love themselves, but they don't. They love themselves conditionally. There's no unconditional love to it, right? You look in the mirror, you see the wrinkles, you see this, the adipose tissue, all that, and you cringe. That's not love. That's conditional love, right? And so embracing that, really becoming home with love. And then in this fourth episode, which we just recorded, is going to be just talking about the basic principles of the law of attraction.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
And that's a favorite topic.
Yes.
Everybody loves to hear that. So,
Yes.
and in the law of attraction field, is it, I mean, it's like people are attracted to it initially because they want to manifest more money, they want to
Yes.
manifest more power, they want to
Yes.
manifest a love, but that's really not what law of attraction is about. That's like a side issue. The law of attraction is changing your vibration to be happy no matter what. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, the law of attraction, it could be quite whatever you want. We're all living it. We're living it now. If you're listening to this show, you were attracted to it. Every aspect of your life is the law of attraction. And however you come to it, that's fine. We're okay with that. But ultimately, what if you aren't ready to really embrace the fact that you are a spiritual being in the physical body, then you will miss the opportunity to really become everything that you desire. And that includes the money, right? That includes everything, the joy, the health. If there's such a disconnect with you and thinking that you have to manipulate the law of attraction with doing this, doing that, then you're going to miss what it has to offer you.
Oh, that's beautiful. So it's not wrong to want to manifest money.
No, no, not at all.
And it's not wrong to want to manifest a perfect mate.
Nope, no, it's not.
It's not wrong to figure out our desires and what we want.
No, it is not. There is nothing wrong with anything. They're only choices. What we're doing is we're inviting you to become more. and to understand as you become more, all of that is yours. The abundance is yours. The better relationships is yours. Once you stop trying to use the ego to control things and then allow your source to guide you.
And I know everybody's jumping up and down. Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's it. There's nothing wrong with you wanting things. There's nothing wrong with it at all. But it does have to do with changing the vibration of how you're thinking.
Yes.
And once you can master that, life gets so much easier.
Yes, it does.
And that's what you help us to do. Change the way we think and change our vibration. And the indication that we're not of the right vibration has to manifest with ill health.
Yes.
And now we've got Shangela, who's going to be helping us. I'm so grateful. This is so much fun. I'm so glad that you're on the network, and we are going to be having a lot of events that hopefully you'll be coming to so that you can teach in person. And I just know from just talking to you, you are a fantastic teacher, and we are really blessed to have you on the network.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm blessed to be on it. I'm so excited. This is something that's been in the works for a while. I've known that it was going to come, but it had to happen in time. And this is the right time.
Wonderful. And I'm so happy. Well, thank you so much for coming on and talking to us. And everyone can go to LOA Radio Network and just click on her picture. You can go to her show page and find the way that you want to listen. And also give us the name of or the address for your website so they can contact you directly.
It is seekwithinyou.com. That's SEEKWITHINYOU.com.
Great. Fantastic. Thank you so much. And I am so looking forward to getting to know you very well.
Yes. Thank you so much, Jules, for having me on this show. Yes. And peace and love.
And everybody, please go and hear her shows. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. I can promise you that. Thanks, Shangela. This has been a great show, and I am thrilled to have you on the network.
Thank you. And peace and love.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back next week with another great show from Law of Attraction Talk Radio. If you'd like to comment on tonight's show, send an email to jules@loaradionetwork.com and have a great week.